But the future is not machine, it's man and machine.
Absolutely.
You have to have intelligent data.
Right.
So you're always going to need that local market expert. And I think we, as the appraisal community, need to do a better job explaining what we do.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
And welcome, everybody. Dustin Harris hanging out in the mobile podcast chair. I'm at the Valuation Expo 2018 in Las Vegas, Nevada, the beautiful ballroom here in the Flamingo. And I had an opportunity to talk with a great number of appraisers. And I've got a great guest with me. Joan Trice joins me. Joan, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Want to pause here, of course, and remind you, of course, that we are sponsored by three great companies. Of course, Alamode. Alamode is the software that I've been using for over 20 years. You can, too. Go to alamode.com for more information or call them at 800-ALAMODE. Datamaster, of course, is right next to us in this great booth. Got a lot of great things coming with Datamaster 6. Check them out by going to datamasterusa.com. One more time, is datamasterusa.com. And finally, we are sponsored, of course, by OREP Insurance, OREP.org. It's the E&O that I've been using for years and years and years, and love what they do for me. Go to OREP.org for more information. Okay, Joan, CEO, Alltera Group. This is a big conference for you guys. This is the mainstay. You do one on the East Coast, but it's never as big as this one. People come to Vegas.
They do. They love Vegas. And this is, of course, our 15th year anniversary.
It's a big one.
It's a big one, and it's really nice to see such an awesome turnout. In fact, this is the strongest event we've had, I think, since the mortgage.
Huge. Hundreds of appraisers
here. Lots of vendors, lots of appraisers. The energy is high. And, seeing the same old faces, but lots of new
ones, yeah.
New exciting products and services coming out. So
I've been
it's a
coming
good time.
here for years and years. I'll tell you, my initial impression, I'll just be honest with you, with everything going on this year, I'm going to use the word shocked when I walked in Monday night. When I came in Monday night and I saw the number of people here and the excitement and the energy in the room, I literally was blown away.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple things. I'd love to say it was great planning. I mean, of course it is. I have a great staff.
Yes, you do.
But there's a number of factors. I've just done this so long. I sort of know what to expect. And number one, we're in a little bit of that sweet spot where appraisers are coming off a very busy time. They do have jingle in their pocket.
Oh, yeah.
But things are slowing down a little bit.
They are.
And they know they need to be networking.
Yes.
And the only way to do that is really do it well, is face-to-face and actually shake hands and mano a mano with your customer or your client, potential client. So there's no better place to do that than right here, because we have... You can meet with your peers and talk to them about best practices in your business. You can meet with the vendors that you've done business with for 20 years and never had the opportunity to meet. And then you have lenders and AMCs here too.
Right. And so some that you've never worked for. I can't tell you how many appraisers come by and say, I made a connection with a new client and that made the trip worth it.
Oh, I have people who've been coming to every single event because each and every year they pick up, $10,000 client here and there. And in fact, I had a really nice email a few years back from a gentleman from the West somewhere who said he was about to go out of business because he just didn't have any clients, and he picked up the VA while he was here, and it really was business changing.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, kind of a big deal.
This is an interesting conference in the sense that that you have and this is something as the appraiser coach I teach appraisers a lot, that they need to embrace technology. And I'll tell you, if there's anything that stands out at this particular conference, it is the technology. It's the Wi-Fi, it's the app, it's the interaction that you have.
Yeah, we finally
digitally.
got with the program. We're kind of high tech.
Yeah.
We get a lot of compliments on our app, and I send my folks out to other events to get ideas about
Nice.
what works and also what doesn't
Right.
work.
Right.
So we, just build on that in each and every one, and then I think, weird, unusual sort of way. I think the fact that there's so many conferences now actually helped us.
Oh, interesting.
Because I know, I wouldn't have thought that. So competition is a good thing.
Sure.
I think it's good for everybody. But what our vendors are saying is there's too many. And so they have to, it's expensive for them.
Sure.
They have to
gotta
ship
pick and choose.
booths and they have to travel. And it's very, very expensive to participate. And so they have to pick the one that they know is reliable and will, deliver the attendance. And
Good.
so it's actually worked out well for us. So, we're not going anywhere. We're doing 2 a year, as you know. We've already got the next one on the calendar.
Can we announce that yet, or is it too premature?
No,
Okay.
I'm not even sure I can get the exact dates yet, but
Okay.
I know it's the week following St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
And we're going to have it in Chicago
Love
at the
it, yeah.
Palmer House.
Love it.
And the green, I've never done Chicago
That'll
St.
be fun.
Patrick's Day, so
It'll be fun.
I think it'll be great. So we're pretty excited about that. So that'll be up on valuationexpo.com, hopefully within the week,
Perfect.
with all the accommodations and whatnot.
Love it. Looking forward to it. We're talking with Joan Trice. She is the CEO of the Alltera Group, who puts on the Valuation Expo. We're here at the Valuation Expo. I want to pause here, of course, and remind you of our sponsors. So, of course, Datamaster being one of the sponsors next door, the ability to save 30 to 60 minutes per report. That is Datamaster. Datamaster, of course, rolling out Datamaster 6 across the country. Had an opportunity to review that. I was looking over the shoulder of another individual who was being shown that incredible presentation. I'll tell you, folks, it is absolutely will blow your mind what Datamaster can and will do for you. Check them out. Go to datamasterusa.com. One more time, it is datamasterusa.com. And we're sponsored by Working RE Magazine. Had an opportunity to talk, as I mentioned earlier, with Mr. Isaac Peck. Isaac being the editor of the magazine, Working RE. And why is he here? Well, he's here because this is what's happening in appraisal. This is what's happening, as Bill has been talking about here today. This is the not only the past and the present of appraisal. This is the future of appraisal right here at the Expo. And of course, Isaac is out on the beat, if you will, gathering information that he can pass on to the great readers there at Working RE Magazine. Folks, if you're not signed up for their free emails, check them out. Go to workingre.com. One more time, it is workingre.com. Finally, we are sponsored, of course, by Alamode Software. Alamode is the software that I've been using for years and years and years. Folks, there's lots of software vendors here on the floor. I had an opportunity to chat with them. I'm friends with Jeff and with Ernie and with George and with others, the CEOs, the presidents of these great companies. They are great software companies, and I could not say enough good about them. But I continue to use Alamode. It is the software that does the value that I need, the quick turn time with the high quality and the tools that allow me to do so. It's Alamode. Check them out. Go to alamode.com or 800-ALAMODE. And welcome back. We are sitting down with Joan Trice. Joan, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining me. I have to tell a story on you.
This could be dangerous.
No, this is a compliment, and it's going to sound like a backhanded compliment.
Left-handed compliment.
No, but it truly is. So I started teaching as the appraiser coach about 8 years ago, and that was the first year that I attended the Valuation Expo. So 8 years I've been coming to this, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but I attended as a lowly appraiser. I got CE, I did my thing, and I enjoyed it very much. and I thought, it would be fun to attend this next year and to speak. And so I started asking around. I said, "Who's in charge? Who's in charge?" Everybody pointed at you. I thought, okay. So I got my courage up, and I walked up to you, and everything was over. You were probably exhausted. And here's this bald fat guy walked up to you, tapped you on the shoulder, and I said, "Great conference, really enjoyed it. Next year you need a really dynamic appraiser to speak." And you said, "That's a good idea. Who?" And I pointed at myself, and guess what? You gave me a chance. And I spoke the next year, and I spoke again this year, and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you for that.
Well, was that the year you were wearing the T-shirt that said "I peek in closet"? So I was probably inspired by your sense of humor.
I love it.
And your entrepreneurship. So yeah, that worked for you real well, didn't it?
It was, and it's been good, and I've enjoyed coming back year after year. I've been on the East Coast. I've been in Vegas every single time, and enjoyed it very, very much. So let's talk about the feel. Okay, so you get here and you've got vendors, as you talked about. Right. You've got networking. You didn't talk about the CE, but there's 14 hours of continuing education that an appraiser can get, and that's huge. But one thing that it's palpable is the feeling here. Okay, so appraisers,
the energy is very high,
and this is what I'm finding. So as you know, I get my ear to the ground when it comes to appraisers and what they're talking about, and some of the fears, if you will. I'm going to use that word intentionally. Some of the fears of some of the changes that are going on. I'm seeing that things are changing when they come to a conference like this. What are your thoughts there?
Well, I think the outreach by Fannie and Freddie on the UAD redesign project is huge.
Okay, let's pause here just a second, make sure the listeners understand, because
what that was all about.
Most people, that are listening to this are not here at this conference. So,
that's true.
Fannie and Freddie were here.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that meeting last night.
So we had, I think it was a focus group of about 50 people, invitation only. We started with inviting appraisers to participate because that was the primary focus.
Sure.
And then we filled in with some vendors and lenders from there. And Fannie and Freddie managed that whole session. In fact, I didn't sit in on it at all because I have an opportunity to talk to them whenever I want. I really wanted the appraiser voice to be strong. But they're involving them in the process about what their objectives are, and let appraisers, I think, if they're part of the process, I think it alleviates a lot of
much more buy-in that way.
The fears. And so, the last time they had a form redesign, they imposed it upon them.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a lot of pushback. So I agree with you, the buy-in, this is a much better way to approach it. And fortunately or unfortunately, it's going to be, I think they've announced a 3-year process.
It's
so it's like,
really? Wheels of government or
I know.
or GSE run smooth. I'll tell you, Joan, I have to say, they didn't ask my opinion, but I'm going to give it anyway.
Okay.
As long as they keep the bathroom wainscot on there, I'm
You're
happy.
okay with it. Yeah.
Everything else.
I'm all for the double hung windows. I think that's a really important data feature.
So one of the things that I'm hearing is feedback from other appraisers who either attended or knew about this meeting with Fannie and Freddie is they do feel wanted. They do feel needed. I think a lot of appraisers are feeling pushed out and feeling like the technology and the data and all of these things are making them feel a little bit invisible. But that's not the feeling I get here at the Valuation Expo.
No, and I think there's just some silliness going on out in the blogosphere by people who really aren't familiar with the appraisal process. In fact, I saw something this morning where a chief technology officer from a non-bank lender was saying, "Oh, it's very exciting. We don't need appraisers anymore." Did you see that?
I did see that.
And I'm like thinking, man, your job title is Chief Information Officer, but you want to operate on no information.
Right.
I think you just don't get it. Somebody needs to sit him down and explain it to him. So technology is exciting. And, in fact, I've been reading everything I can on artificial intelligence and machine learning. But the future is not machine, it's man and machine.
Absolutely.
You have to have intelligent data.
Right.
And I, have yet to see a machine that can smell
Cat urine.
cat urine in a home,
Right.
or call the buying and agent and the listing agent and verify a sale. Or drive around the neighborhood, or read the newspaper and know that the local plant is
Just
expanding or shutting down, whatever the case may be. So you're always going to need that local market expert. And I think we, as the appraisal community, need to do a better job explaining what we do.
I agree. And why we're valuable.
Why we're valuable. And the opportunity to do that is I publish a newsletter to tens of thousands of appraisers.
Right.
You have a podcast. I have Valuation Expo. I have a magazine.
Get
Speak
the information out
up.
there. Absolutely.
Write an article. Talk to people. It's all about being plugged in.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, if I could summarize the Valuation Expo this year for me, and this is my interaction with appraisers on the floor. It was coming in a little bit fear-based, a little bit of the unknown, going out very positive, understanding there's change coming, but also understanding that there will be a valuation profession long into the future. It may look much different than it does now.
Oh, yeah.
But I think appraisers are willing to change and to change their business models and still be very successful ongoing.
I agree.
Great conference, Joan. Thank you for sitting down with us. Next year, Chicago,
See
and
you.
again in Vegas.
See you in the spring.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, thanks.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.